Hey y'all, welcome back to my Purest Alchemy channel. If you guys don't know me, my name is Brianna and this is my Purest Alchemy channel where we talk about case studies, story times, all things under the sun alike that come to my mind. Today I have a story time about why it's important to have your no be as strong as your yes. Starts off with me going out. I was invited out to a get together, a nice little kickback. I had a homegirl that invited me out and I had a really good time. It was us at first and we were just enjoying our night. You know, it was nothing crazy, nothing too crazy happening. We were just talking and chopping it up, and then she had some of her other friends come and they were cool. They were really kind and really open, so that was fun. We ended up playing like a drinking game, but I wasn't drinking a lot due to the fact that I had to drive home, so keep that in mind. I just wasn't trying to overdo anything. I was also invited out to like a lounge that night as well, so I already knew that I had to do a lot of driving. And my friend that had invited me to the get together, she wanted to come with me, so I already knew I would have to take her home. We're probably gonna get something to eat after, so it was a lot going on for me in terms of I had a busy night and I didn't want to overdo it. And me personally, I don't really like drinking and driving at all. Like, I mean, I don't think you should do that. But me personally, I feel like if I'm going to be drinking, I would just want to make sure that I'm the one that's being like taken care of, in terms of maybe I'll do an Uber or if somebody else is driving. But I don't even be trying to get tore up like that. To be honest, I don't like the feeling of being like out of control with my body. So I don't even be overdoing it like that. Some of her friends came through. It was one of her friends' birthday, so he wanted me to come out with them to the club, and I just was like no, because I have to go to another outing after this. And he was like, I'll pay you, come on, like come with me. And I was just like, I can't. I have another like friend that it's her birthday too, and I can't just go out with you just because it's your birthday and you want me to come. I'll pay you to be in this section with us. Like, oh, that's so tempting, but I can't. I be sticking to my word. When I say I'm gonna do something, I follow through. And if I made plans with my homegirl, I'm not just gonna opt out just because some dude said that he was gonna pay me to be in their section. Like, I don't know him like that either, so I wasn't gonna just jump on that just because the price might be right? Like, no. But you know, I know that he didn't mean it in like a bad way. Friends that he was with, there was, let's call one of them Michael, let's call the other girl Sandra. So Michael comes and tries to ask me where I'm from, make a little bit of conversation with me when my homegirl decides to step out. I don't know where she went at the time, but I wasn't really pressed. Like, I didn't feel unsafe. So, you know, it was fine. But when Michael came and was talking to me, he was telling me that, you know, he thinks I'm pretty. He's asking me where I'm from. And he's like, you know, like, I just want to get to know you. Like, can I give you a hug? And I was like, no, I don't really like when random people touch me. Not that he was nasty or anything like that, but I didn't know him, so I didn't want him to touch me. So he ended up like, oh, okay, that's fine. And so Sandra, she's just standing over there, and as me and Michael are talking, I'm like, well, do you have a girlfriend? Because I saw them kind of cuddled up together a little bit, but I didn't know if they were together. So I asked him, and he was like, well, I'm kind of open. And I'm like, open? And then he's like, Sandra, come here. So Sandra comes over, and Sandra's like, you cute. And it's in a way of like, they both looking at me like they want to devour me. And I'm just like, okay, like this is a lot right now. I'm like, thank you. And then he's like, she thinks you cute. But they're saying it, they're both trying to talk to me in a way where they're both trying to step down on me at the same time. And I'm not like flattered. I don't get flattered by attention or compliments. I say thank you, of course, because I'm not a rude bitch, but I don't really care, you know, like it's just a compliment. It's like thank you, but whatever. So he is telling me that they've been dating for a while and they've been talking for a little minute. My hands are a little ashy. So, but mind you, Sandra starts dancing on the dude that wanted me to go to his section for his birthday, and he was gonna actually pay me for it. So the way I see it was, I was picking up that maybe they all share her. I didn't really know. I couldn't really name it. I don't judge people's dynamic. You do whatever you feel comfortable with, but that's not my type of party. So it was so funny to me because I saw like their little ploy. Like they were giving like, we trying to take somebody home tonight, and I just wasn't in the mood. So I wasn't biting that bait. So fast forward to some time later, and me and my homegirl, we talking, we chopping it up, we having a good time. We're almost getting ready to leave, but Sandra comes over and she's like, we gonna take some shots. You gonna take some shots? You know how women could be. They could be very charming. And I was like, no, I have to drive. And I said it just like that. And my homegirl was just looking at me like, yeah, she gotta drive and we're actually going out. So she was just looking or whatever. She was having a good time. Sandra's like, well, come on, like you could take a little bit. And I was just like, I have to drive. She was like, just a little bit. I was like, I have to drive home. And she was just like, come on, like you could take a little bit. And I'm like, no, I can't. And then she's just like, well, you don't want to just take a little shot? She was very, very persistent, I would say the word. And I understand what persistence looks like because I've seen it in men, but she was one of the most persistent women I've ever met in my life. And I just ended up kind of like ignoring her and just started talking to my homegirl because we were having a conversation either way. And she just came over and wanted to take shots with us. So I just ended up, because I felt like you didn't hear me the first time. I said that I can't because I have to drive home. Now, I don't know what your little horny ass is on, but I know that you're trying to get me toe up. So maybe I could be like, well, I can't drive. Can you guys drive me home? Or you gonna fuck around and make a detour? You know, like, don't play with me, girl. I could see the play from 1,000 miles away. So she ends up leaving me alone and she ends up walking away, which was okay. But I had just noticed that the group was very persistent. Like it was a couple of them that they were very, very persistent in however they were asking for whatever they wanted, and no wasn't enough for them. And I really do think that because of the way their dynamic played out in terms of Sandra and Michael were together, but Sandra was dancing on the birthday boy, and she was like, you know, she was backing it up, you know, like real like, dirty wine now, girl, dirty wine, you know, or like, you know, she was really backing that thing up on him. And, you know, that's y'all, but that's not me. So I ended up going to my next outing with my homegirl. We were good. You know, everybody said goodbye to each other and everybody was good. Like it wasn't anything that popped off. Thank God it's not like a crazy story time, but the point still stands. Always let your no be as strong as your yes. Now, the reason why I say that is because there are people who don't understand when their attraction becomes borderline predatory, or if they understand that their attraction is predatory, they don't care about how it makes them look. And peer pressure is one of those things that I've seen it play out in a way where one night you're just having a good time, and then, you know, you take something and then you just end up getting addicted, or you take the wrong type of substance and you end up not being here anymore, or you end up drinking a little too much because everybody told you like it's gonna be okay, like come on, why you not drinking or whatever, or why you not doing this, and then you end up in a car accident, or you end up hitting somebody else. There's so many factors that go into somebody telling you to override your own boundaries. No is a full fucking sentence. So trying to continuously ask somebody or tell somebody like, come on, like it's very coercive. It's like somebody asking you to have sex with them and you say no, and then they keep going, they keep asking you in different ways, and they keep like pushing the envelope. It's very, very disturbing, and it felt sexual to me, right? Like you can feel when somebody is trying to get you to do something that's out of your comfort zone because they want sexual favors from you, or they want to get you in a position where you're vulnerable, no pun intended, right? Like I personally cannot be pushed to a point where I don't want to be pushed. Like there's certain things that I just will not do when it comes down to social settings, because people will really like take that to the extreme when they see that you're willing to override your no. Like if you just like say like, fuck it, why not, you feel me? Like that's how they all ended up in like the Asian man, like I forget what movie, it's like The Hangover, where they were just like, oh fuck it, we gonna have a good time, then they ended up like not knowing where they was at and getting like kidnapped, dude was missing his tooth, all type of shit. Like alcohol really does black you out if you take too much of it. But me personally, like I said before, I don't like feeling out of control in my body. I don't ever remember ever being blacked out drunk to the point where I don't remember what happened the night before, because I have limits. Like I know my limits when it comes down to drinking, and I know that if I'm just a little too toe up, like I gotta go home, I gotta be in bed. There are people out there that don't understand that it's okay to say no to people, and it's okay to look lame. It's okay to look like, are you boring? It's okay to look that. Like I've been called that before. Like I've been called in social settings where people wanted me to drink and they saw I wasn't drinking. Like I remember I had went out with one of my homegirls and we went to the club, and we had met up with some people. Like it was some people that we ended up like, we were just in a group in a section, and they had blunts and they were smoking, but I didn't see one of them like roll up a blunt, and they passed it to her and she smoked it. They passed it to me and I said no thank you, and my homegirl want to suck her teeth like come on, like she getting upset with me. First of all, me and her don't talk no more because I feel like you're weird for that. Like my whole thing is like, I don't have to smoke some shit just because somebody offered it to me. I don't know what the fuck that is. I didn't watch them roll it. I didn't watch them pour my drink. I don't have to take nothing. I didn't see somebody, you feel me? Like, that's not my type of MO. If I'm gonna smoke some shit, I gotta know what the fuck you got. If I'm gonna drink some shit, I gotta watch you pour it. I don't even play that. I don't play that. There's so many like countless stories of people just getting laced. I've heard so many countless stories of women getting roofied. Scary shit to me. Like that shit is very scary to me, of just being out of control of your body or not being conscious within your own body, and then having to be like at the mercy of somebody else. That's fucking terrifying to me. So I don't even play that shit. So she was having an attitude with me, and then when we were on our way home, she was like, why didn't you take the blunt? Like we smoke together all the time. I watched them roll that shit. She was like, that's smart. That's smart. I'm like, yeah, and you catching an attitude. What you catching an attitude for? Just because somebody passed you some shit, that's what you need to learn. Just because somebody passed you something doesn't mean that you have to take it. You could politely say no. And that's what I did. I mean to say this because it doesn't matter if anybody goes out of their way to try to make you feel small. It doesn't matter if anybody goes out of their way to make you seem like you're lame. It doesn't mean, none of that matters. If you know yourself and you know your limits and you know what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. It doesn't matter what anybody says. And a lot of people who don't have like an internal backbone, they think that they have to appease somebody else. They think that they have to appease a crowd. They think that they have to go with what somebody else is doing, because if you're not doing it, then you're lame. And I understand wanting to fit in, right? And I understand that pressure could make you fold. But there are times where if you take something and you don't know what's in it, you just don't know where that could land you. You don't know what that could do to your brain. You don't know how it may affect you. You know, there are people who smoke and they start getting paranoid, and then they start feeling like people are watching them and they get scared, and then they start wilding. Like me, I don't like being around people who smoke and then they start wilding. Like, you feel me? Like, I don't like it. But I know how to calm them down. It's like, you just gotta relax, you know? But there are some people, weed don't go with them. Just don't go with them. So, you know, but weed is not the only thing that there are. People smoke sometimes. People smoke fentanyl. They smoke all types of shit these days. You just don't know. I say all that to say that it's very important to not get sucked into other people's opinions and understand what you came out for. If you came out to have a good time, to dance, to enjoy yourself, then you don't owe anybody any type of more access to you than beyond that, right? If somebody is trying to tell you that you have to drink because everybody else is drinking, but you're not a drinker, like you could just pick up a cup of water and just be like, yeah, this is so good, whatever. Like, you don't have to play into people's games, bro. Like, you don't have to do what everybody else is doing. And the more you understand that, the easier it's gonna be for you to say no. When I kept saying no to Sandra, it was because I understood that she was sexually attracted to me and that she was trying to get me to be vulnerable. Alcohol does that to you. Like, everybody understands that alcohol, you'd be like, and then you start finding somebody in the room sexy. Now you taking them home. Like me, I've never done that, but because like alcohol don't change my vision. Like, I know if you ugly, people they get turned up and they just you feel me, they start wilding. Like, and but you know, I've wilded out off of alcohol before, but I was in a very much so controlled setting with my homegirls. But either which way, you want to just make sure that you're not going overboard. Let your no be as strong as your yes, and let that lead you in many places in life. Just because you are being offered something or somebody is trying to get you to do something that's out of your comfort zone and you're not comfortable with it at all, it doesn't mean that you have to do it. And that's okay. You have to learn how to not allow yourself to just be succumbed to other people's opinions and their thought processes. At the end of the day, it's just words, and you got to let them bounce off of you. It doesn't mean that you are boring. It doesn't mean that you are a pussy. It doesn't mean any of that shit. You just don't have to go with what anybody else says. It's not necessary. So that's my little story time today. Like, I wanted to keep it short and sweet because I'm about to go out, so I wanted to come on here and just share that, because I thought that it would be a great story time for you guys to understand that you are the driver of your life. Always put yourself first when it comes down to certain situations. Always make sure that you're crossing your T's and you're dotting your I's, and you don't allow yourself to be succumbed to what anybody else is talking about. Always make sure that you're taking the time out to protect your energy when it comes down to people you've never been around and they trying to like pressure you to do things. Like, you don't know them like that, and you don't have to go out of your way to appease them or impress them. Who are they? At the end of the day, you just want to make sure that you get home safe. I hope that this story lands. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all those beautiful things. And yeah, we'll talk again soon. Purest Alchemy out. Love you.